Wow. Okay. Good morning. Oh, I have to wonder. I don't think Mercury's in retrograde, but that was wild. We just had a pretty big complication with our Zoom to YouTube interface. So I'm glad that we're finally here to be able to go live. Apologize for the wait. That was extremely challenging for me. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Cheers. Anyways, um, that just goes to show the power of prayer when things are not working the way you want them to be working first thing in the morning, and you can still pray your way through it. So I'm really happy to be here with you. Thanks for saying hello in the feed. Welcome, everyone. Um, Rebecca's writing in. Wonderful to see you. Same over here. Computers having interesting behavior over here. Yeah. We had something happen that just never has ever happened before. And so we'll be working on that, calling those platforms to find out what that kind of delay was. And thanks so much for your patience. Really appreciate everyone being here live now. And I'm going to just take a deep breath. So I'm really happy about what I have prepared for you for this morning. My team and I were talking about listening to the heart with Mother Mary, and so great to see everyone's comments. Thank you. On page 176 of the Sophia Code, we have teachings from Mother Mary about listening to your heart, which is incredibly important. This process of learning how to keep your heart open, how to listen to your heart in all circumstances, that is the spiritual journey. That is our daily practice. And it is what helps us to stay persistent and perseverant, even when things are challenging, like the challenge I just felt. There was a moment where I was like, wow, everything we troubleshoot is not working. But my heart kept saying, stay the course. We're going to figure this out. And it's important to go live. Don't give up. And so, even that, when we take a moment to feel into our hearts, our hearts are communicating to us first and foremost through our feelings. And what I tuned into in my heart was a feeling. It's a feeling that I've personally identified. Excuse me. It's a feeling that I've personally identified over the years that is associated with not giving up. It almost feels like a horse that's running as fast as a horse possibly can, and nothing is going to stop that horse. So when I feel that feeling, even if I can't hear the words of my heart, which is communicating to me, don't give up, I know that that feeling is those words. And so, what the divine feminine does is it validates your feelings. The divine feminine principle is saying, hey, everyone, no matter how much your feelings have been minimized, judged, projected upon, gaslighted, your feelings are a sacred language, and your heart speaks first and foremost through the experience of feelings. And over time, what's important to, what's important to identify is what the feelings are communicating verbally to you in words. And Mother Mary shares, oh, it's so beautiful to see everyone's comments. Thanks so much. Thanks for saying hello in the chat. When Mother Mary is communicating in our chapter in the Sophia Code, is that because your heart is the language of emotions first, it takes time to learn the actual verbal language of your heart. And so and it's actually more simple than what we want it to be very often, not we, but the ego structure. And so when we realize that through Mother Mary's teachings, what happens is we can start to identify that simple is powerful. Simple can be very clear, a very clear directive. And one of my favorite practices is picking the resonance of one word and allowing that clear, powerful resonance to guide my consciousness beyond ideas or striving for how I'm going to embody the resonance of that directive, and allow the resonance, the feeling resonance, using my body, heart, and mind to feel into the resonance of that word that allows me to stay the course or to pivot as needed, or to change my course as needed. Hi, so good to see everyone popping on. So let's go to this chapter reading from Mother Mary. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing, this is one of my favorite rosaries in the rosary collection. This one is from Mother Mary. It's consecrated to creative genius, um, healing of the inner child, empowering the inner child, and also the joy that Mother Mary felt in her spiritual leadership and legacy. Um, Anyways, I just wanted to share that. It feels really good to be wearing this right now, if you're wondering about it. Okay, so on page 176 in the Sophia Code, oh yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go to paragraph 3. Let's read paragraph 3 together. Um, Here we go. This is the words of Mother Mary in the Sophia Code. Mother Mary shares in this section that is entitled Following the Voice of Your Heart. So Mother Mary says, on the halfway down on page 176 in the Sophia Code, you naturally begin to hear the voice of your heart once a practice is established for understanding the intelligence of your emotions. Oh my God, let's say that sentence together because it's practically a mantra. Uh, let's read that out loud together with our hand on our heart. You naturally begin to hear the voice of your heart once a practice is established for understanding the intelligence of your emotions. If that feels like like a leap of celebration in your heart, go ahead and put an amen, or I'm celebrating this moment, or I love my heart so much in the chat. Like, blow up the chat with your love for your own heart and for the power of your emotions. Because I can't even tell you how many times my emotions were called, over the top or too much, or I should feel something different, or what you're feeling is too big, or you should calm it down. And what Mother Mary is saying here is that you hear the voice of your heart when there's a practice that is established for understanding the intelligence of your emotions. If your heart is feeling an urgency, there is a message there. There is an intelligence there. If your heart is feeling sad, there is an intelligence there. If your heart is lit up by something that doesn't make any sense but brings your heart joy, that's an intelligent feeling. This is what the divine feminine is awakening within us. Is to unplug from a slave matrix that would shut down our emotions and plug us back into our own sovereign hearts that have a feeling intelligence that can light up this world with the intelligence of the Divine Mother, the intelligence of God, Christ consciousness. That's what your feelings are guiding you to. That's what our collective feelings are guiding us to. We feel the power and the resonance of sovereignty. We feel how much these ascended masters are supporting us. We feel the power of our higher selves when we come into that alignment with listening to our hearts. We feel how good it feels, and that is an intelligence. That intelligence is a guidance system. Isn't this exciting? I love seeing everyone's comments in the chat. It's really fun to have this community dialogue with you. Let's keep reading this really extraordinary paragraph from Mother Mary. All right, so Mother Mary goes on to say, exploring a dialogue with your heart. That's interesting. It's a dialogue. Exploring a dialogue with your heart often begins with a question to clarify what a feeling means. Isn't that interesting? This is a conversation with your heart. It's like that book, Conversations with God. How about conversations with your heart, right? Because God lives inside your heart. So let's start there. Exploring a dialogue with your heart often begins with a question to clarify what a feeling means. Certain emotions will stand out in their intensity, magnetizing your awareness to ask your heart questions such as, is this decision right for me? Your heart is always listening, waiting to engage with you and respond with the truth. Oh my God, that's such good news. Your heart is a truth barometer, and your feelings are doing everything they can to show you the intelligence of the truth that already exists within your heart. This is profound. And then Mother Mary goes on to say, at first, the voice of your heart may feel curt or brief in its responses, simply replying with yes or no or short phrases. Do not give up. These brief answers will saturate your mind and your body with startling truths that inspire your curiosity to engage further. Oh my God, I'm feeling so lit up by these sentences this morning. By practicing the quieting of your mind and sincerely asking your heart questions, you will increasingly hear the voice of your heart speaking with greater regularity, ease, and detail. Your heart's voice grows in confidence as it is assured that you are actively listening for its responses. Further, your heart will reveal great detail as you practice appreciating and giving thanks for every response that you receive. Your appreciation creates a sanctuary for this important self dialogue to flourish. Oh my gosh, I could talk about these two paragraphs for hours. There's so much to unpack here. But for the purpose of this morning's transmission, I just want to pick out some key phrases and then do a beautiful little guided meditation with you this morning. So, the first thing that we want to identify is that the heart, when you are first learning to really listen to your heart, what the words are going to sound brief. It may even feel curt. There's two things happening. Number one, your heart's first language is through feeling. So you're asking your heart to intellectualize, to verbalize the feeling state. And that takes translation to go from one language to another, to go from the feeling language to a verbal language. Number two, your heart may have felt punished or shut down by your ego structure. And so it takes healing for the heart to start to open back up and trust that you're not going to beat the crap out of it when it tells you something that you don't really want to hear because it might be affronting to your ego structure. So just like when we're getting to learn someone, getting to know someone like a new friend, we would be very gentle in the opening up of that friendship and that new relationship. And we would take our time to get to know them. It's important. Mother Mary is sharing, like, what are the qualities that allow someone, including your heart, to open back up if it's felt persecuted by the ego structure? Kindness, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. So everything that you receive from your heart, even if it's the intelligence of a feeling that does not feel good, it's still a message. Can you say, yes, thank you, I accept, I receive? I might not understand what your message is because I'm not hearing the verbal words yet, but I know this feeling is pointing me in a direction towards a bigger prayer, a bigger message that I am going to receive the more that I listen to you and your guidance, the more that I take time to learn the language of my own heart. So Mother Mary is also saying, do not give up. This is how important these teachings are to Mother Mary. She's saying for us is to not give up. She's saying no matter what messages that you're receiving, she's saying they're going to saturate your body, heart, and mind with startling truths that inspire your curiosity and probably divinely guided action. Because when we start to receive messages that are get our curiosity going, we also are headed down the road of being tempted to take action in ways that we might not have ever taken action before, because we are listening. We are listening. And so she's saying, by practicing the quieting of your mind and sincerely, now this is important, sincerely asking your heart questions. So if you were going to have a sane conversation, a compassionate and loving conversation with a friend outside of yourself, you would want to come to that conversation in a very sincere manner with, the internal preparation that you're going to be very kind in what you heard back from them. And you weren't going to try to control the conversation. You're going to be open to it. This is the same way we have to be with our hearts. We have to extend that olive branch of peace, that when our heart feels a full spectrum of feelings, that is profound intelligence. It is information. These are messages that are being communicated from your body, from your higher self, from your guides. Whether it feels good or not, it's communicating to you, ooh, in alignment, out of alignment, headed towards where you need to go in your divine purpose, not headed in that way, or headed towards a healing that's going to S-curve back into your purpose. It's just like, but we're not going to be able to identify those messages if we're expecting the heart to speak in a language that isn't its first language, without us taking time to learn its first language of feelings, and then being quiet enough to listen for the words that go along with the feelings. So, good morning to everyone joining us live. If you haven't liked this video, can you go ahead and like this video now? Because that's just so helpful for the algorithm and getting this important teachings out into the world, so that other people can connect with Mother Mary as well that may be new to this work. It's just beautiful to see the community dialogue that's happening in the chat. And let's take a moment to open our hearts to that, to Mother Mary's guidance in receiving a one-word intention today that's going to deepen our clear communication with our hearts. So taking a couple deep breaths in, we just have a few more minutes here together. I welcome the presence of Mother Mary. Her incredibly peaceful presence, powerful. She's smiling at each and every one of us. She's wearing a beautiful blue gown today with these stars that are twinkling within the dress. And you may feel your heart just kind of spin open in joy in the presence of Mother Mary. And I welcome the presence of your higher self to fall fresh upon your human awareness and to feel the crystalline resonance of your higher self resonating and radiating from every cell of your body. And I call upon that soul star of Christ consciousness that exists within you. It already exists within you. And you can imagine that soul star of Christ consciousness as this radiant sun, and all of the rays of the sun are blasting out through your heart chakra. And this may create some movement in the center of your chest. You may feel some petals of your heart opening like the rose. And within the center of your heart chakra, Mother Mary is placing, if you would like to receive it, this sacred seraphim blue flame. It's a gift this morning for you. And you're going to feel this little blue flame growing brighter and wider at the center of your beautiful soul star within the center of your heart. You are invited to visualize this seraphim blue flame beginning to roll and grow and create almost like a bonfire throughout your whole body. You may even feel the sensation of becoming a little bit warmer, a whole lot more clearer. And Mother Mary is sharing that this blue flame transmission is opening your heart to release anxiety and fear due to the world events that are unfolding right now that we don't have control over. What we do have control over is our daily practice. What we can be empowered by is how we continue to keep our hearts open and expanding open wider and wider so that the sun of this Christ consciousness, this blazing soul star that exists within you, can continue to bear great light, divine love, compassion, faith, and clarity into this world. This invincible divine light that is your higher self, this soul star, downloading into this world through your daily human life. We give thanks for Mother Mary's blessing and amplification of this Christ consciousness within you, so that your human awareness may experience a deepening of becoming even more integrated with this holy consciousness that you already are. Mother Mary isn't giving you this consciousness. This is already who you are. And because she is one with her own Christ consciousness, her very presence is invoking your willingness and your ability to become amplified and your willingness to embody this level of divine feminine, divine masculine Christ consciousness. Taking a deep breath into the center of your heart, I invite you to listen to the center of your heart for one word or one feeling that wants to be communicated into a word that is your word for today and maybe even your word for this week. It's only Tuesday and I feel like it's Friday for myself. So I'm personally gonna call forward this word for my entire week. And when you receive that word, it may come forward on a wave of energy, on the S curve of a feeling. Breathe into that word. Remember to say thank you to your heart. And to feel that word blazing in the center of your heart as your mantra for this week. This word is going to be guiding how you listen to your heart all week long. It's a resonance that you can continue to tune into for receiving direct guidance from your heart. Feel free to share your word in the chat. If you'd like to share your word in the video replay, we love reading your feedback. We love hearing how these daily transmissions are supporting your daily practice. Pam is writing in the word peace. So is Sophia. Revela is writing in joy. Ashley wrote in the word wonder. Jen is sharing that her word for the week is passion. So appropriate for our Mother Mary transmission. Stephanie is writing in the word serenity. Stephanie, that was my word too. That's so cool. I love that. Taryn is writing in unity. Good morning, Taryn. Taryn's one of our team angels, and she's here to answer any questions that you may have about this platform and our upcoming events. Donna is writing in the word adore. Oh, how beautiful. Rebecca is sharing her word is alignment. Alana is sharing uplift. Marabella is, her resonance is gratitude. Phoenix is calling in this word seen. Kathy's word that popped out of a feeling of love was courage. Julie received the word from her heart, powerful. Linda is being empowered by her heart's prayer of innocence. Della is sharing compassion, and so is David. Laura is sharing her word today, which is believe. It is so powerful to receive the messages of your heart here in this chat. And I'm so looking forward to reading everyone's word in the video replay as well. Again, if you could go ahead and like this video, share these transmissions with your friends and family. These are incredibly powerful opportunities for people to receive free education, spiritual tools, and meditations to support them in these extremely challenging times. It is our honor and privilege to get to be a part of your spiritual practice. Thanks again for being a part of today's KR Daily Transmission. We love you all so much, and we'll see you again here live on Kaia Ra Official. All my love to you. Namaste.